Facebook will let me. Okay. It says we're live on Facebook. Let's double check because I don't.
We're live or we're not. Who fucking knows? That's part of the excitement.
We're gonna figure it out.
Oh no! It says
Are we
we're
actually
live
live?
on. I think it says on that
we
we're
got
actually live
comments.
on Facebook. I'm just double checking.
Paul says hi. Hi, Paul.
We got Paul on Twitch, so we're good
Hey,
there. Hold
I was
on.
about to say someone call Richie a dickhead. That way we'll definitely know that we're live.
I'm gonna. Yep. Okay. I see Paul's comment on Facebook, but we can't see it on StreamYard, so I'm sending everyone over to YouTube or Twitch.
Okay.
So for those who are tuning in, I'm posting this comment. This is the link to our Facebook page, or not Facebook, YouTube page. So definitely come check us out on YouTube, and that way we can see your comments. We want to be able to talk to you guys and answer any questions, comments, or concerns you guys may have. But greetings, readers and travelers, and welcome to another episode of Stats on Stats. No, Chattin' Stats. We're chatting stats now. And oh crap, I forgot to put the logo up because today's a very exciting episode. Shit, dealing with this was a nightmare and everything. So
Just give Richie a moment, okay?
crap.
Facebook is being a dick. Like we're just vibing. Actually, while you're doing that,
Yeah.
because obviously I'm Irish, so I look for any excuse to drink. I have some very shit Scottish whiskey here. Though
Well,
Scottish
then
whiskey is usually good.
Toast to us.
And I think there's a toast to us. Let's do a little
Yeah.
cheers, guys.
Cheers. Let me switch back over to StreamYard. So
There you go. There's your cheer.
Oh my god, that's awful. Oh, that's all I had.
So everyone, I am seeing comments. I apologize. Give me just a second because I have a really cool thing I want to put up, and I'm just hoping that it works. I just gotta find it. There it is. Okay.
I love you, TJ.
Oh, we got
It's all
TJ
good.
Lombardi in the chat.
TJ Lombardi's in the chat.
Hell yeah. What up, TJ? Nope. Okay. I don't know. So we're gonna mess with it. Greetings, readers and travelers. Welcome to another episode of Chattin' Stats. We're gonna run it back. My name is Richard Stevens, and I am the host of this fantastic lit RPG podcast. And today I am joined actually it's been pretty constant recently, so as always, by my co-host,
It's really
Mr.
just
Joel Harvey. Hey, you missed
one
Brian's episode,
I know.
which I'm sure Rachel will
And he's
going to
give me infinite shit for it. And
Oh, even I've heard.
I
Even I've
deserve it
heard.
because Brian's fantastic, and I wish I would have been there. But yes, we are back, and man, JordanCon was fucking fantastic. I have so much because we haven't had an episode in like a very long time, but I have so much that I've read that I'm gonna miss like half of it probably whenever we mention that.
Yeah, I mean, we took about a month off just to catch up. We had some slight delays, but that's okay because we're here now. And joining us for the very first time, I don't think she really needs a grand introduction because she's so amazing as she is, and she is Legion Publishing's first female author, the Chaos Gremlin, and writer over at Larian Studios that worked on Baldur's Gate, Miss Rachel Niekirk. Rachel, how we doing?
I am so excited to be here, and that was such a grand intro. I thank you. I love that.
I have to make it a grand intro because today's a very special episode. Because not only are we having my favorite read of the year, like this is my favorite read of the year. This is damn good, Rachel, and we're going to dive into that. But today is our very first sponsored episode. So today's episode of Chattin' Stats is brought to you by Legion Publishing. Legion Publishing, where you can get all of your lit RPG and progression fantasy books. You know, they got everything from academy-based, video game-based, and even a guy who just wanders around. But they have plenty of books coming out later this year with some absolute bangers that I'm actually really excited for, and they're going to contest, Rachel. I'm sorry, but they're going to contest.
Look, as long as it's not Brian's book that beats me for best read of the year, I'm happy. Let anyone else take the title. I am so happy.
Now here's the thing. I'm a character in Brian's book. Now he said he was going to kill me off, but I'm a character in Brian's book.
Everyone's a character in Brian's book.
That is true. That is
Well,
true.
you know, he needs us for his NPC ideas.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, yeah, we are just NPCs in the life of Brian.
Mhm.
So, and no, that wasn't a Monty Python reference, but
I was very impressed. I was like, oh, getting his lore in.
So, we already have a question. How do I sponsor an episode? Well, we will have sponsor stuff posted later and all that fun stuff. We're still trying to figure all that out. It's everything is just kind of new and fresh, and I was surprised we actually have a sponsor. But hey, we are sponsored by Legion Publishing, so hey, go check out Legion Publishing Books, where you can find the hit title Knights of Eternity, Book 1, Calamity.
Look at it. Like, look at that.
See,
Like, even
see.
if the book sucks, look at that fucking cover, guys.
No,
like,
the cover, the book is
no wonder.
fantastic. The cover's hot. But also, I have the very first signed copy. Look, it's got number 1 up there. Very
does.
first.
He does.
So,
in about 10 years, it might be worth the price of the book. Who knows?
it's worth every
Who
penny.
knows?
It was worth every penny.
I'm okay.
So, Rachel, why don't you give us a little bit of lore about yourself before we dive into talking about your book?
Oh, sure. Okay. So how deep do we want to go? Do we want to go into like
I will let you make
last
that.
years?
Let's make that assessment. I'll let you do it. This is all you. This is your time to shine, you chaos gremlin.
Well, do you know what? We'll go for it. So it all started in 1990 when my mother was given a Bible to read after she'd given birth because it was Catholic Ireland at the time. And this is a true story. I was super premature, right? And my mom wanted to call me Amy, but she thought it was bad luck to give a small name to a small baby. So because of Catholic Ireland, she got given a Bible to read because, who needs pain relief when you have Jesus? And she's flipping through the book and she sees the name Rachel. Now, Rachel is Moses' favorite wife. Thank you very much. And that's how I got my name. So that's the origins. And now I'm here. I feel like that was a really good... So I grew up in like a tiny village in Northern Ireland. Like I am from a place where like I loved anime and manga. And I'm from a place where when I said I loved manga, they asked me what kind of fruit it was. And look,
was there a basket with it, or?
Oh my god, that was good. I loved that. I loved Fruits Basket. Also, again, the lore, get in. And I loved. Look, I love where I'm from. It's absolutely beautiful, but it was very far away from everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was that kid who was obsessed with Japan. And I really wanted to be a writer. It's all I wanted to be. So I went to college. I studied English literature, very helpful degree. And I also studied Japanese. And I headed off. I lived in Japan for 2 years. Absolutely adored it. And then I came back and I was like, I want to get into publishing. I want to be an editor. And so I did my master's. And then I ended up afterwards, I got very lucky. I ended up working for a United Nations agency in Rome.
Holy crap.
Yeah, as a proofreader. Now, it wasn't full time, so I'd have like a couple of weeks on, a couple of weeks off, like, but I was going back and forth. And after like a year and a half, I was like, I love this job. I love Rome, but I'm so tired of living out of a suitcase and just moving constantly. So I was like, I have to find a job. And then my friend, I just, because you have to tell a year in advance if you're going to be there the next year, obviously, so they can schedule shit. I'm talking to my friend and I'm like, God, yeah, no, I don't think I'm going to come back yesterday. I don't know what I'm going to do. And he goes, hey, there's this, like, have you heard of Larian Studios? I was like, holy shit, yeah, DOS 2 people, absolutely. And he's like, I'm actually going to apply. Why don't we apply together, right? So we applied together and neither of us get it. Yeah, don't get the job. And I'm like, oh, fuck it. Look, I tried. So I'm on my way. I've gotten another job working for a HVAC manual company. So it's a technical writer. And actually, it did, like, my manager actually sounded really cool. It actually sounded like not a bad job. But I'd be writing the manuals for heating and ventilation systems. And okay. I'm in the bus. I'm on the way to view an apartment. And I get a message from Larian going, hey, we've actually just opened up a junior position. Are you interested? I nearly like fucking took the steering wheel off the driver and like pulled over. So I went for it. I still had to interview, like still went with I was up against a bunch of people and I am so grateful I got it. And I was there for 6 years.
Wow.
So yeah, it was it was, I couldn't believe it. And if there's one thing I took from it is if my friend hadn't contacted me, even if I'd seen the ad without him, I probably would not have applied, because in my head, part of the reason I was like, I'll do editing and whatnot is I love editing. I love working with authors, but a part of me was like, you will never be good enough to be a writer. You're not good enough. You never will. And this is the safer route. I did quotation marks if anyone's listening afterwards. This is the safer route. And I'm so glad I actually put myself out there and that I did it, because I think my life would be incredibly different if my friend hadn't said that to me. And my friend actually, hilariously, also ended up at Larian and is the guy who wrote Minsk.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Rory Moore is his name.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So there's a lot of lore at Larian. And then, so I'm working away, and then this piece of shit guy called Brian J. Norden, I'm working with him. He's at Larian, like whatever. And he's telling me like all about this thing called Lit RPG. And I'm like, sorry, I love books and I love games. And there is something that is both that is fucking mind-blowing. So one of the first ones I read is actually, well, there's two. So there's Bright Blade by Jez Kajio, and there is Somnia Online by Katie Hanna. And I fucking fell in love. I was obsessed. I was like, this is the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen. So then I start working on my own, and I was like, oh, sorry, thank you, Kyle. Oh, thank you, Kyle. Fuck off, stop being nice to me. And and I'm like, I start working on this, and initially because we're in the throes of BG3, and it's just having a blast to work, but it's very stressful, right? It's a very big game. So I just needed something. I was like, I need something that's totally different. I do it in my own time. Sure, no one's ever going to see this. No one's ever going to read it. It'll be fine. So I'm working away, and I'm thinking of putting it up on Royal Road. And Brian is like, don't. Rachel, don't do that. And I'm like, oh, why? And he's like, just wait. Rachel, just wait. And then all of a sudden, this company called Legion gets announced, and who is their first author but Brian J. Norden? And I was like, oh, I see what you did there, Brian. So I sent in a submission, and I was so fucking nervous. And I get a call from them. They're absolutely lovely. They asked like, hey, can we add like this? Can we add that? I'm like, yeah, sure, totally. And I add in some extra bits, and they come back to me, and they're dead serious in the meeting. They're dead fucking serious. Look me in the eye, and I'm already going, didn't get it. Fuck it. Look, that's okay. All I did is tried. And Jez looks me in the eye, the prick, and is like, Rachel, you made a lot of changes. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, and we loved it. You're in. And I was like, you bastard. My heart. And and just after, and again, I loved Larian. I loved working on BG3, but it got to the point around like February this year. I was at the time writing book 2. I'm now working on book 3, but at the time I was editing book 2. So I was doing promo for book 2. I was editing book 2, and I was working on book 3 and working full time. And it wasn't fair on my teammates. Like, it wasn't fair on my brain, which is very small and does its best. So it was not doing great at the time. And I just decided, look, fuck it. I'm gonna write full time. I'll see what happens. I'm gonna give it a year, and we're gonna see how it goes. And so I was potentially a dumbass who quit especially during the last 2 years, a gold dust full-time job in the game industry to write a book about muscle mommies and giant badgers.
I mean, you're not
Jinx.
wrong, but it's also really fucking good. So
Thank you.
Yes,
Kind of you.
that was a fantastic story of your life,
There you go.
and I just want to let people know that the production that she puts into like anything she does just really shines in
does.
her writing. Like, absolutely, and
you.
you can tell just from her telling us how
Her life story.
her life story. Yeah.
Got all of it. That's it.
Hey,
Who
we
needs an
wanted the
autobiography?
Rachel lore, and we got it.
You got it.
Was
I was about
you
to
passed
say.
the test. We said we were gonna quiz you. You passed the fucking test.
I mean, it's your life. I hope you pass.
Hey, right. What? My brain just shorted. I said, "Hey, Ryan." Then I read Rachel, and then I was going to say Rachel, and I was like, "No, that's my
No,
name."
you said Rye. It works.
Rye. Hey, Rye. Are we doing that now? Let's do
Yeah, let's just
Rye.
call him Rye.
Let's call him Rye.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It's great. We're good. We're good. We're good. He's another Legion guy. It's fine. It's fine.
It's very annoying. Everyone at Legion is really fucking lovely and supportive and kind. It's the
What
worst.
asshole.
Have a good one, Kyle. Thank you for stopping in, buddy. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Kyle.
So, we're here.
We're
And
here.
we're talking some Knights of Eternity.
Calamity.
So,
Yeah.
because we already got the cover for book 2, and it's just
Oh, it's
fucking good.
Rashid Alakroka. I'm gonna fuck up his name, but he's an artist based in Kuwait. Absolutely phenomenal. He also does the Quest Academy books, the covers of them, and he just like knocks it out of the park. Like we were looking for an artist, and I was like,
I can say
that one. I want that one, please.
I can say it because Brian's not here. Calamity, it's better. It's better than Quest Academy. I mean, Quest Academy, it slaps. Don't get me wrong, but
it does slap. It does slap. It's a really fucking good book.
But Muscle Mommy, like uppies, please.
Uppies.
Listen, I keep saying this. I can't be a muscle mommy right now. We're working on it. Can't be a muscle mommy, so I'm gonna write a muscle mommy. That was like, that was the thinking.
All right. I mean,
very deep.
I always have the muscle mommy in my party for Baldur's Gate. So
I love Carlick. Carlick is written by a phenomenal woman called Sarah Bayless. And she could have taken Carlac in so many ways. She could have done someone who's grim, serious. She's got, an infernal engine in her heart. But she wrote someone who is this wonderful, kick-ass Labrador. Oh, I am a huge fan. And she turned Carlac around in almost no time. It was absolutely phenomenal.
Carlac could pick me up, rip me in half, and I'd say please again.
You and me both. Okay, Carlac brought up some feelings, okay? And I was like, Sarah, what are you doing to me? Okay.
See, the problem is Maddie and I have been playing Baldur's Gate together, and she's going after Astarion and Gale, and I'm over here like, Carlac and Shadowheart? Yes, please. But also then Gale shows up, and I'm like, oh, okay. Hello.
I loved the bug in the early when the game first came out, in which like you say hi to Gale and he's like, get in my pants. Like it just like he's like straight away. That was so fun. Also, Ryan, totally fair preference. Very fair preference. Honestly, they're all good in my book.
No.
Hell yeah. Also, yeah, Calamity is voiced. I should also mention Calamity. So the cover is done by Rashid. Phenomenal job. And Calamity is voiced by motherfucking Andrea Persno.
And she fucking delivered.
Really good.
She is absolutely delivered. I'm on an Andrea kick right now. I'm going through the Aethers Revival series still, and I've gone through because when we did the episode with Daniel Shinhofen, I had just read book 1 and 2, and then I re-listened to book 2 because I was like, I probably should go back and I remember book 1 very vividly. I was like, I'll do book 2. All right, now I'm doing book 3. Okay, now book 4. Now I'm in the middle of book 5 and I'm like, whoop, I already picked up book 6 and 7. Book 8 just dropped.
I just listened to Grave Song on audio by Andrea.
How is it?
She sings on it. Not only does she sing on it, there's a bit where she sings in multiple voices.
Oh, fuck me.
Right? I'm like, I don't even know anything about like voice acting or anything, but the thought of like, okay, it's already hard to sing, but to sing in different fucking character voices,
right?
I was just listening to it like jaw on floor. Great. I had a blast with Grave Song, so I hadn't read Wandering In, so I was like really fascinated like to listen to this. So the first half is slow.
Oh yeah,
I enjoyed it. It's slow, but I enjoyed it, and then it fucking kicks off, and then my heart gets like pulled in 8 directions, and I was like, oh, I get it now. I get it. I get it.
Okay.
So I'm Wandering In is next on my list. I'm very excited.
Wandering In, it's very slow to start, but and it's long. It is a very, very each book I think is like 40 hours almost. They're long.
shit.
They are long ass
That's
books,
a work week.
but they're good. They're
Yeah.
good. And I might be overshooting it a little bit, but the books are very long.
No, I can't, because I was asking on Reddit. I was like, you know, if okay, I've read this.
Mhm.
Do I get more out of it if I read one? You know, I was kind of asking people, and everyone was like, just go read it. Just go do it. You'll thank yourself. Go do it. And I was like, the people have spoken.
Yes, I mean, hey, once you get feedback and everything, you got to go with it, right?
Exactly.
That's why we're
exactly.
giving. That's why we're
It's
giving
that peer
feedback
pressure.
for Calamity. Go fucking read it, guys, because we're about to dive in. Go
Peer
read it.
pressure.
Also,
Peer
Paul.
pressure.
Oh yeah, no, we're all about. I'm Catholic, Irish, so I'm not really Catholic. I'm from Catholic Ireland, and we love peer pressure. 100% Paul. Like, I listened to her narrate, not all of it, but like a lot of my first book, and it was me going, "Oh my god!" And she's there apologizing for how slow she is, and I'm like, "This is amazing! You fucking take all the time in the world you need. This is, I cannot believe you do this live."
Mhm.
And she takes such care and precision, and she'll say a line, and I think the noob over here is like, that's perfect, and then she's like, no, there was a slight pop on the second syllable, or like there was something here, and and then she'll do it again, right? And I can tell it sounds better. I can't tell why, but I can tell it's like it sounds better. And she's like, yeah, because this and this. I'm like, holy shit, like that's
So
crazy.
I had listened to her do the prologue,
Hmm.
and I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop listening right now because I want the full effect of what this book is going to give me. And from then I was like, I'm gonna have Rachel on the show. And then I reached out to Geneva. I was like, Geneva, I want to have Rachel on the show. She goes, just go ask her. Just go
Yeah.
ask her. And so I did. And here we are.
I know, and not only did you go, I am very happy because I met Joel at JordanCon and we got to hang out. And then because obviously fate was on our side, I also got to meet Richie in fucking Chicago, of all places.
I drove 4 hours up there with Maddie, and we went to, oh my God, what was it?
Oh, the burger place, the biker bar.
Kuma's Corner.
Kuma's Corner. It was amazing.
It's a metal bar, or it's like a metal burger bar that every item is named after a metal band.
It was so good.
That's awesome.
Oh, it was Joel,
great.
there's one in Indy. We'll have to go. It's damn good.
Food was delicious. I'm delighted I actually got to meet both of you before the show.
Yes. And of course we got a photo together, and I brought my copy of the book up there just because I was like, no, I got to get a photo with it. It's got to have the same effect. So
you're both so supportive. Fuck off. Like,
that's what we do here. That is the whole point
right.
of Chattin' Sets. We uplift authors and people we care about. So, and you're on that list, Rachel. You're on that fucking list.
I'm honored.
Because your book is fucking good.
Thank you.
It emotionally ripped my soul out of my body multiple times, but it's fucking good.
I love I love villains. I absolutely adore them. But I'm always fascinated by people who start out good and end up evil. And and I don't mean evil as in cackling, wahaha, who make decisions in their best interest versus what's good for the greater good. Because I think that's we all like to think we do the right thing when the time came, but we're all just people. We're all flawed. And making one small decision to protect yourself can become a bigger one and a bigger one and a bigger one. And suddenly it gets to the point where you don't even consider anyone else. And to you, that's just you looking after yourself and doing what needs to be done. But to everyone else, you're an asshole. And it's something I really love villains. And I also really love, if you can't tell, traumatized people.
I wouldn't have fucking guessed.
No, you wouldn't have gotten that, would you? There's no trauma in this book.
God.
Everyone's fine. No one needs therapy. It's grand.
So I got my copy early.
I want to talk about this book, but could we do like a quick synopsis first?
Oh yeah, sure.
Just to like, because I totally wanted to just dive right in. But
your schedules, ladies and gentlemen. This might be a long episode.
Rachel did such a good job with the life story. Do you want to give us a quick synopsis?
Yeah, I will. Sorry, I probably should have led with this. Apologies, I got too excited.
No, you're good.
So this book is about a nameless girl who gets shot and ends up in the body of an arcade game villain called Zara the Fury. Now, Zara the Fury, she fucks shit up. Okay, There is fire, there is flame, there is so much anger. She is the quintessential cackling Disney villain, right? And then when the MC ends up trapped in the body of her, turns out things are a lot more complicated. There's gilded knights who are like heroic Arthurian kind of knights of the realm. There's dragons. There is a very cryptic system. So I wanted to do something a little bit different with the system in the fact that you don't get a straight up quest. You almost have to solve like a puzzle before you go and do it. And there are great rewards, but also if you mess up your quest, there are penalties. And those penalties are very costly. So I really wanted to, that's a very brief kind of sum up for it. So if any of that appeals to you, it might be your kind of book. It might not. That's totally fine. And it's the reason the MC is nameless is, this is a slight spoiler, but it is a massive part of all three books. So I don't mind revealing it. The reason the MC is nameless is because when she's in the game world, she forgets a bit of her life on Earth. Mm-hmm. So the longer she's there, the more she forgets about who she is. And of course, the first thing that leaves is her name. And so, yeah, what do you do if you're stuck in a game world where you got these quests you got to do, and the longer you're there, the more risk you run of thinking you actually really are a video game character.
But there's more to that, as we learn later in the first book, which I was not ready for. I wasn't ready for it. That was a left field throw, and I was like, oh shit, what is going on?
It's complicated.
Yeah, I am like the mechanics guy, and so with the cryptic like game mechanics really made me work for like what is actually going on here. And there's a lot of stuff you have to like infer, but it so it was a little out of my comfort zone at first, but I think the writing style alone like made me stick with it. That and the fact that we're having you on the show, but no, just the production value.
I loved it. I love the honesty.
Like the different characters, because you really make us like fall in love with like almost every single character except for main bad guy. Fuck that guy. But
it's the kind of it's one of those things, like if you like really, really crunchy stuff, just for anyone listening, this is a very creamy book, right? So it might not be the kind of thing that is up your alley, which is again totally fine.
Just because I say that like it's not in your face doesn't mean there's not like a complex
there's a lot going on
there. Game mechanic. Because there is. It's just not like in your face, here's what's going on. But no, it is absolutely fantastic.
So quick thing before we dive into it, because I'm switching back over to Facebook and I'm seeing comments. So Demi's here, and Demi said book 1 is 43 hours and book 2 is 61 hours. That's for the Wandering Inn.
63 hours.
I mean, the Land book 7 is like 65 hours. So but we can't see the comments on StreamYard anymore. So if you guys want to pop over to YouTube and comment there, that way we can see it. YouTube or Twitch, I have the YouTube link pinned. Feel free to just click on that link and follow on over and come say hi so we can see who else commenting, because we love you guys and we appreciate all the support. So, mechanics system.
Yes.
Joel.
Oh God. Making me do work.
That is your job.
One thing that you do have to infer from the beginning is in the prologue, prologue comes first. It talks about this like great old one that's trapped, and he is sort of the influence of the game mechanics within the world. So the mechanics he implements, there's the quest system, which you talked about, just says, stop this guy. Yeah. And you're like, I don't know who that guy is. I don't know like what you want me to do right now. So that was honestly very, very cool. I love that. And then the abilities, so the characters have abilities, but they don't actually know what abilities they have, at least not for like, oh, it's Brian.
You missed, for anyone listening, I waved at Brian. I didn't throw both my middle fingers up.
No, we gave Brian a grand salute.
That's A one-fingered salute, some might say.
Yeah. No, but they have these abilities, but they don't know what the abilities are. They have to figure them out just through instinct, pretty much. But as we're learning more and more about the main character and her abilities, I was really interested about like her backstory for like Zara the Fury, not like the MC that's in her body, but like we get to learn more about that, and that was really, really cool. There's I don't know. I don't want to spoil like a whole bunch.
No,
you
it's
know?
hard, right? It's something I'm kind of struggling
Like-
with. I was like, I did technically give too much away when I was
No.
doing my little intro, but it was like, it's. I feel for you guys. This is tough.
But yeah, that's basically all we get for mechanics.
And it's something it does build. So I don't mind. I don't think this is much of a spoiler. Brian, I'm gonna read it out for anyone listening in. Is this what it's like to have Joel on an interview? He's so engaged and praisey, not jealous at all.
I'm
Damn,
sorry.
Brian.
I'm sorry,
Damn.
Brian.
It's not like there was 42 missed calls or anything, Joel.
I was asleep.
Sounds like
I
an
worked that
excuse.
night. I gotta stay up to get in touch with all these other side of the pond people.
Hey, I did ask Brian if he wanted to do a revision episode, and he's like, nah, Joel can suffer.
I deserve it.
You do.
I like it because you can tell that you guys are good friends or amazing enemies. It could go either way.
Oh, we've known each other
Both-
for the past
both
12
the
years.
time.
So
You also missed it, Brian. I talked a bit of shit about you earlier, but you'll never know because you missed the earlier bit of the episode.
It's not like there's a rewind button.
yeah, there's not a
No.
rewind button or anything
No.
like that. You just
No,
gotta
but
figure out
it's-
where it's at.
Yeah, no, there's no such thing. Don't look for it, Brian. But yeah, it I wanted it to be because again, I love lit RPG and I love reading it, but I wanted to do something that was a little bit different. So she doesn't even figure out how to use her inventory until book 2. because it's usually instantaneous. So I think I was trying to put myself in my in like the MC shoes, and I know I like to think I would like hop in and Charlie's Angel that shit and just like figure everything out, but I know I wouldn't. Like I'd be the first to die if the zombies attacked. So I was like, okay, when you get spoon fed, kind of like drip fed, actually more than spoon fed. When you get drip fed your powers and you keep getting promised this endless thing, it's very much like a bait thing. It's like, keep working for me. Like, this is what you get. This is what you can see.
Okay. All right. I mean, you're making me want more of this series. And of course, when book 2's cover dropped a couple weeks ago, I was studying every inch of it. I was like, okay, what's going on? What is this?
Yeah.
Who is that handsome man in the back?
Mhm.
Who the fuck is this?
And the thing next to her is important.
I gotta go back now. Fuck.
There's a creature next to her. It's almost in the background, but that's important.
Notifications, where you be?
And it's something, and actually, Joel, because you touched on, you wanted to know more about the vaccine. Book 2 is all about Zara.
Nice.
So you get to find out a lot about her.
Do we have a release date?
Yes, it
I
is.
know you're doing a
August
simultaneous,
27th.
right?
I love that Richie knew. I was like, August.
He's my dates guy. Like
Mhm.
anytime that I have a question about when anything is happening ever, he just spits out a date, and I just trust him at this point. I'm like, sure,
I mean,
I believe you. That's fine.
yeah, that's kind of how it goes. At times, I'm sorry. I'm currently looking while you guys are chatting.
It's fine. Look at it. The thing there is important as well. And I also I'm
Oh
so excited-
fuck!
Yeah, that's important.
I need it. Needing it.
Hey Rachel, it was so nice to meet you at JordanCon.
Absolutely.
We got 2 Rachels here.
Exactly. Look, Rachels are the best. I don't write the rules. Okay. but yeah, no, so it is quite mechanics like, but and this is definitely like part of my game dev background. It's really important to me that the game mechanics and the narrative work together. So I so I don't no, I still enjoy them, but it's a bit jarring for me when I read some books and it's like, okay, people have access to this system and stuff happens, but there's no like, but why? Like the narrative reason, what happened? How did this come to be? And like I appreciate that's just me. That's just I like to know those things,
Right.
but that's why I made it kind of a bigger part of the book. Like, why does this exist? What does it do? And like the connection this has. Because I think it can be a little jarring anyway for me if it's just like you have points to spend on stats for reasons.
Mhm.
Here you are. It's
And
so
you can-
fun.
And you can chat about those stats.
Yeah, on Chattin stats. Oh my
It's on
god.
Chattin
yeah.
stats. You did it.
Yes,
You did
I
the thing.
I did the
died.
thing. I said the
I-
thing. So
So we talked about mechanics.
Mhm.
Let's talk about Richie's forte.
my
The
character
emotional
development.
Oh,
turmoil.
Yeah. Because holy shit. Rachel,
mhm.
you're really making me question stuff out here. Because I love a good traumatized character. I don't know if that says a
Did that-
good or bad thing about me.
So that intro just killed me.
Yeah. I was in the middle of Walmart putting chips on a shelf listening to the audiobook because I had it pre-ordered. I had the audiobook pre-ordered as soon as it went up. I had the Kindle pre-ordered as soon as it went up. And then I got the paperback early because Legion released it early. Thank you, fucking Legion. So
You guys are too good for us. You're showing us how we need to be treated, right? You're setting the bar too high, guys. Okay, you're setting it too high.
I don't do half measures. So I mean, yeah.
It's all or nothing.
Yeah.
So here I am. I before Jordan Con, when I got my physical copy, I got 12 chapters in. So I knew what was coming.
Mm-hmm.
Andrea's performance
Oh,
is what really sunk me in. I was like, holy shit, here I am in the middle of Walmart putting chips on a shelf up by the checkout aisles, the little bags and everything. And I had to set an alarm because Hermes, one of our cats, was getting fixed that day. So I had to leave the store, go pick him up, take him over to the vet real quick, and then came back. The first character, Plow. I was like, oh, and then
Avery.
no, Joel. I don't want to give names because I don't want to. I wanted to hit the people like it hit
That's
me.
fair.
So that, and then of course when our nameless character gets blessed by the holy hand cannon, because guns make holes. Get it? Holy.
So I was
like, holy shit.
And Rachel's over here like, I've never actually seen a gun in real life.
Oh, that was so funny. Okay, so like me with my European ass over here. I've never like our police in Ireland are unarmed. Like detectives have guns.
Right.
But like I've never seen a gun. Like even when there was, long story short, some racists being assholes and we ended up with riots for the first time ever, like basically in like 20 years. We ended up with riots in the capital. And even the SWAT team, the riot police who came in, they didn't have guns.
Wow.
They had batons and riot shields. They did not have guns. So we're not like it's just, and look, it's a culture thing. Every country is different, just how it is. So then I remember talking to James Hunter and Joel and a bunch of other people, and like, a lot of people in America have like been in the army, and so it's very, and like a lot of people in America have guns, according to European news, all of you, and so I get over
Joel's
there.
bachelor party is going to be wild, so.
Oh, stop. So it was just so
we're
I had to write
shit.
a scene with a gun. I've never seen one. Come to
Yeah,
Indiana, we
Paul-
will show you some guns, Paul. That sounds like a threat.
No, he's not getting it's not a threat because for Joel's bachelor party, it's going to be Brandon, Joel, Paul and myself, we're all going down to Brandon's because he has this like giant wooded acre area, and we are going to be having a little bonfire,
Okay.
shooting shit,
Class.
and then as stuff is burning, we're going to be drinking as well. We're gonna have a
That sounds
blast.
fantastic. That
It's
sounds
gonna be a
10 out of
fun.
10.
It's not gonna be like your stereotypical bachelor party, you know, strip clubs and all that stuff. Sorry, Joel.
No, we're doing fire and guns, guys. That's what we're fucking doing.
We're blowing shit up.
No, I don't mind.
Richie over
That sounds
here
amazing.
killing.
We'll get you
Killing my
videos.
dreams.
We'll get you
Please,
videos.
I want to see a video. Like, I want to, because honestly, it sounds amazing. But yeah, having never seen a gun, I then had to write a scene in which there was a gun.
Yeah, no. So I heard that's first. I had not read the story at that
Mhm.
point. And then I got back from Jordan Con. I started reading the book. I was messaging Rachel at the time because I was about halfway through at the time. And I was like, "You mother trucker. You did not miss. I've never seen a gun before." Was not ready for that intro at all.
Well, it's something because I love isekais. It's one of my favorite. And look, I know it's a trope that's been done to death, but I love me a good isekai. Okay,
Mhm.
always have. Love it in anime.
do
I
I.
love it in manga, and I love it in books. Right. But what I wanted to do is, I think, and again, this is also why I did it. This is not a criticism of isekais, but isekai is a great trope because it lets you drop someone into a whole new world in which they are strangers, and it's a really good vehicle in which to explain things. Right. Truck gun.
Just have a truck drive through the arcade, killing everyone.
There you go. Look, next book. Thank you for that. That's a good. I'm feeling
got
that
you.
pull. And it's completely. My mind
Hey,
is broken.
Steven.
I'm
Hi,
very bad. Hey, Stephen. It was so nice to meet you at Jordan Con. What was he saying? It's gone out of my fucking head.
Guns are the
Isekai,
way
they're
to
dropped
go.
into the world.
Oh,
They have.
isekai, they're dropped into the world.
Gotcha.
Yes, you've got a perfect vehicle to like explain how the world works in a way that makes sense. It's good with pacing. You're learning as the protagonist is. It's great, right?
Yeah.
But I wanted to do one in which you see where she comes from. You see something about her life there. You see about who she is. She's got family. She's got like, okay, she doesn't have any friends, but she's got family. She's got a nephew. She's got like hopes and dreams and a
She
crush.
has friends. Her nephew's her friend.
If your only friend is your nephew, man, like,
My nephew's my best friend. What the fuck?
oh, not Joel. Oh, the
It's
truth
fine.
comes out.
Honestly, this is sadder.
Thanks, Joel.
So I wanted one in which she actually is trying to get back to her world, and that
Right.
there is, and you see something of who the person she was before she came to the world, and what is at stake if she doesn't get back.
And you emotionally damaged me on all fronts.
You're welcome.
You're just
I
like,
felt
yeah, I'm gonna introduce some lovable characters.
Yeah, like it's like let's just like have a let's introduce a possible love interest because I'm a sucker for that shit. I am a sucker for a possible like love interest. Like if there's like a little love subplot, I'm all for it. I am all for it.
you're gonna love book 3.
Oh fuck yes, fuck yeah! Just go ahead and shoot that advanced copy over for me so I can just power through it.
I got you.
Cool.
Sorry, I want to read out Brian's question. How
Oh, God.
difficult was it writing a weirdo reclusive MC with no friends? Was it hard to get into that headspace? You know, Brian, it really was, because obviously, because I'm so hot and popular, and it's just really, you know, I had to think, what would Brian feel in this situation?
That's
and that
what
really helped me. That really helped me, Brian. So thank you for that. For anyone listening, I do actually somewhat like Brian. I just
they just have a little feud or anything. They totally
Yeah.
didn't ask me who my favorite Irish author is
not something
or
that's not
anything
a
like
question
that.
came up.
Like that topic's never
would
came up, and
never.
I've not had to say Jack or anything.
For fear of getting his throat slit by one of the other two.
The two ruthless ones. I'll go to the intellect one.
Oh my god, I cannot wait for you. Like Scarlet Citadel is coming out in June. And
I'm so hyped.
I can't wait. I cannot wait.
I got to read a little bit of it for the beta read, and I was messaging Jack about it because I was like, Jack, I am having a very hard week right now, so I was like, I'm just gonna read your book, and it is so elegantly
Yeah.
written. I was like, I was
Oh
having
my
to
gosh.
have
With
a
the way he
dictionary next
Oh,
to
so
me.
apparently the editor needed a dictionary.
I was like, wow, this is beautifully written, and
Yeah.
it's not going to be a very typical lit RPG, I can tell, and that's what I'm excited for. It's going to be more progression fantasy from the sounds of it, but still, it sounds like it's going to be fucking stellar.
So
Or,
he
sorry,
actually
second stellar.
talks like that in
He
real
does.
life.
He does.
He did like some panels, and
I-
it was just absolute poetry. Like every time he opened his mouth.
No, I was on a panel with him for Guildify Con last year. I did the
Mhm.
Cozy Fantasy or Getting Cozy one, and I of course was late because work scheduled me to work when I was like, no, I had to be off by this time. They're like, no, we scheduled you to work. I was like, fuck you. So I was like 15 minutes late, but just getting to talk with him, I was like, he's wholesome. I just want to give him a hug. Like he's
Yeah.
just so
He is.
wonderfully nice.
It was I keep telling everyone the story, but it's because he's far too shy to do so. We were on a panel and he's moderating, and Matt fucking Dinneman
Oh God,
at the end of the
poor
panel
bastard.
goes, "Well, now I don't want to be on a panel unless Jack moderates it." Talk about a motherfucking feather in your cap, right?
No, Matt and I are in a feud right now. So you have your feud with Brian.
Oh,
I have my
why
feud
are
with
you
Matt.
why are you feuding with Matt?
Oh, do you not recall the whole trial I had to go through to get him on the podcast? I had to get
Oh yes.
yeah.
Okay, fair.
So
Yeah,
Matt,
you feud with that piece of shit. Who does he
He
think he
has
is?
new phobias.
yeah, no, my phobia went from oh this isn't bad to oh my God, what the fuck?
Also, Matt Dinneman, if you are listening to this, I stand by what he said. What I said, you're a piece of shit. Hey,
God,
we met once.
fuck, I'm banning Geneva now. I'm not even gonna throw her comment up there. Yeah, fuck you, Geneva. I'm
No,
kidding. I love you.
guys. Did you not get the memo? Richie has a new fetish.
God damn it,
It's
Rachel! Don't you fucking do it.
unicorn.
God
It's
damn it.
fucking unicorns. The bigger they are, the hairier they are. He is into it, guys. Okay, do it.
All right, so this has been the Chat and Stats.
I think I've just been banned from the show. No regrets.
All right, Brian, I'm retracting my answer. I have a new favorite. No, we love you, Rachel. We love you, even though you want to emotionally rip me in half because what the fuck that intro.
It was I am such a I'm such a character girl, and it's one of those things that like my characters genuinely become real to me as we go on.
Right.
And I'm trying to talk about this in a way that's non-spoilery. So there is a certain scene involving a dragon in book 1
Yeah.
where something bad happens to the
Mhm.
NC, right? And when I first started writing the book, that is one of the only scenes I had in my head. And I was
Okay.
like, but why would this happen? Why would this character do this? Why would they hurt her like this? And I didn't know. And then I got to the big reveal about who this person really is. And I was just like, oh, that's why. Okay, that makes sense. But it's the kind of writer I am. It's something that has bitten me in the ass and also has like ended up being some of the best things I've ever written. It's not that I'm a pantser, it's I'm not even wearing pants. Like we're that far into it. And the downside is I have to go back and I have to edit a lot. I
Right.
have to edit a lot. But the upside is characters really surprise me in ways like Zara, and again, she really makes a big appearance only once in book 1. She is the main focus of book 2, which I don't mind revealing. But I didn't really know who she was until I got into book 2, and then I was like, oh, Sarah, baby, come here. It's gonna be okay. Okay, she'd bite me if I did that, but I would want to be like, no, it's like it's gonna be okay.
She can bite me. She can bite me. It's fine.
Wait, if you had to pick Zara or Karlach, it's an obvious answer. That's not a trick question. Like to me, it's a very obvious answer.
No, I gotta dissect it. I have to think this one through.
Karlach turned me into a vampire.
Wait, Karlach turns you into a vampire?
Or not Karlach.
Astarion would turn you into a
Astarion.
vampire.
Oh, I love this. Is always my favorite. Like, so the writer for Astarion is a guy called Stephen Rooney, and he sat behind me at Larian. Right, he's also one of my best friends. He is the quietest, shyest, loveliest guy you've ever met in your life. And again, because we're really like we're good friends, I would not just yell this at a coworker. I know that's hard to believe having met me, but I do have some limits. But I'm playing through, you know, because in the months leading up, once the writing was done,
Yeah.
we're just playing the game, we're testing it, we're making sure we're going through, we're playing. So I was like, you know, I've never actually romanced Astarion. I'm going to romance him, right? I'm going to romance him in this playthrough. So I'm playing through, and I just threw something at him, and I was like, Stephen, stop making me horny, fuck's sake! And he was like, over in the corner, wanting the earth to swallow him up. But he's very. It's something I learned. There are so many, like, it's not just me, like being grateful for BG3. It's like, which I very much am. The writers on BG3 are some of the best and most talented people I've ever met, and they've taught me so much. If I have any characterization chops, it's because of them. It's because of what they've taught me and how kind they were with reviews, how helpful they were, even when it was really stressful. And we were working on a big game. Of course, it got stressful. So good.
With Baldur's Gate 3, I was very nervous because I loved the first two, and I have like the remastered versions of the first two and everything. And when that first trailer came out, I was like, okay, all right. And then I saw Larian Studios, and I was like, oh no, fuck yeah, I'm all for it. Let's go, let's go. Divinity Original Sin 2 is great. The first one's even better. Let's fucking go.
But what I love is like, and it's why I'm so excited. You know, sorry, in case I didn't say, I have since left Larian. Sorry, so I'm not affiliated with them. This is just my own opinions, and I'm shooting my mouth off. I'm so excited to see what their next project is, because look at the difference between DOS 1, DOS 2, and BG.
Oh
right?
no, it's night and day.
And they're all good. They're all fucking great games. The jump in quality and writing and storytelling is absolutely phenomenal. And I am so, and of course the fuckers won't tell me anything. How dare they actually be responsible with their NDAs?
I have always because I wanted to get into voice acting and all that stuff with being a theater kid. When it came to like, oh, I would love to do video games at some point, and people would ask me, they're like, oh, what studio would you want to work for? And it's like, well, I mean, like, you know, like a Square Enix title would be great because I love Kingdom Hearts. That's my favorite franchise of all time. But then I'm like, then I started playing Larian games, and I was like, oh, well, and then Baldur's Gate 3 came out, and I was like, nope, this is it. This is it. They have set the standard of what a game should be. And the fact that other companies were going out of their way, and they're like, no, this isn't the standard.
I laughed my ass off
when
I saw that.
Pissed.
I wasn't annoyed at all. Why were you pissed?
Because it was companies that were money hungry, grubby. Hey, let's drop a $80 game, and then here's a $70 season pass for content you might not.
And it's the same game they put out for the past like 10 years.
5 years. 12. 13.
So I will say the person who raised the tweet initially was actually an indie developer. So I think that's totally fair for an indie developer to say that. However, yes, some much bigger companies did weigh in, but the person who raised the point initially was an indie dev. So I think that's a different kettle of fish.
I didn't see the original post, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
I just
but then some people were jumping in, and I'm like, dude, you work at Blizzard. Like, okay. But again, I don't work at Larian. Nothing I say counts towards this. Sorry, I don't want to get sued. But it was
Larian,
it was an amazing.
We support you. Please don't.
No, I love you, Larian. Like, I left, but I'm a massive fan. I always have been. I always will be. But but it taught me so much. And I think, again, if my characterization is in any way good, it is because of that. And we did this amazing thing in which, so I didn't write all of them, but I wrote some of the dialogues for Roland, who is like this wizard in Baldur's Gate 3, and he starts off extremely cocky, and we see a guy at the end who is very broken, slight spoiler, and goes through a very difficult time. And it was so rewarding to work on a game that does that. Auntie Ethel is one of the characters I worked on, and one of her victims is a woman called Mayrina. And the difference between Mayrina in Act 1 and the difference in Mayrina in Act 3, hugely different. Think like Mass Effect are my favorite games of all time. And think the difference between Liara from Mass Effect 1 and Liara from Mass Effect 2. And I loved being able to work on something that does that. And it's something I really wanted to bring to this book because, again, I am a character girl first and foremost. One of the reasons I love Legends and Latte so much is you really get to know every single person in it.
Yeah.
And you can tell that to Travis, these characters are real. And like everyone in there, and I want, even if they're like, there's some characters I fucking hate, but I know why they are the way they are. I know what drove them to where they got, and I wanted that to come across also, and have some cool fight scenes in Fire. So hopefully I did both.
I mean, you gave us a little bit of everything.
I hope so.
You gave me, a romance introduction.
Mm-hmm.
Or possible romance introduction, and then just killed that off. And then
you don't get feelings. Sorry, no feelings.
No, my feelings are invalid and only to be ripped apart, so it's fine. I know you're like, how can I hurt Rich? Well, let's see.
Specifically, I felt so bad. Again, I'm trying to be spoiler free. The scene with the uncle at the beginning, I felt really bad.
Yeah, no, you fucking ripped me in half. Like, just, and I know now that you've been a guest on the show and you're working on books, or you're like, how can I really fuck up the stats, guys? I can see the wheels turning there.
Oh, I'm waiting. I'm like, if you mention any character that you're like, I love them, in my head, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna kill them.
Yeah, why say
Richie, shut up. Richie, shut up.
That's the other thing. In my book, like, people die. Like, a lot of people die, and it's something. I'm like the early seasons of Game of Thrones. That's where I like.
I was on my way to the the restaurant.
Who I absolutely loved? Gabriel.
Yeah, no, Joel. I was on my way to the restaurant. Maddie was taking a nap, and I was like, all right, I'm going to play the audiobook over the car instead of listening to it in my headphones. And because she doesn't like audiobooks. She's not an audiobook person. I was like, that's fine. She goes, I'm going to take a nap. I was like, cool, put your headphones in. I'm listening to something.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get to that chapter, and the chapter ends right as we pull in. And I'm like, all right, I got to have some words with Rachel, because what the fuck?
It's one of those things that was always the plan. What I did not expect is how I would connect with these characters. So I don't want to say it hurt me more than it hurt you, but but I do, like, I'm one of those losers who genuinely gets upset when she's writing her own shit.
Wow, that shows you care about these characters. And it's okay,
I really do.
I have to bring this person's life to an end. How do I do that without destroying myself? Well, you can't.
You can't.
I mean, it honestly shows through if you like channel some of that anger into like some of your characters' reactions.
Paul, I wish I was so cool that I chatted with Matt Dinniman about how to destroy people's feelings. I wish I was that cool. Now, obviously, I am extremely cool, but not that cool, I'm afraid. But in it's funny. It just popped into my head. Because you mentioned him earlier. There's a creature called the Operator, basically, and this is the person you get your quests from. How that came about is I was listening to a podcast in which Brenda Romero was being interviewed. Now, Brenda Romero is married to John Romero, who was one of the main developers for Doom, the video game. Okay. They actually have a video game studio in Galway. So she's doing this interview, and she is the longest working woman in video game history. And her first job, she was like 16, and on the back of like boxes or magazines or cabinets, if you were stuck on a game, this is like 80s, you would call a hotline.
Yeah.
And they would help you. And that's where I got the idea that she's in there, she sees the menu on her tab that's like help, call the operator, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna do that. And that's literally where, and I did not know how big of a deal he was going to be at the time, but that's where that idea came from.
That scene was terrifying. What the fuck? Yeah. I almost messaged you and said, are you okay? You good?
No, no,
But I
no,
didn't
I'm
want to
not.
interrupt your time with your friend. I was just going to pick your brain, when I saw you like a day later. So, but what the fuck, Rachel?
Yeah, it's and it's funny because I wrote this book. I wanted to write a book that was horrifying, but also that you could listen to in the car with your kid, if that makes sense.
It's definitely a like I would say
Like 13 up,
it's a
you know.
PG-13 like movie. Like you put
Yeah,
it like I almost say I want to say like, the darkness of Avengers Infinity War, like that whole last half,
yeah,
but also not like it's on like, what you would consider like a teenage horror movie to be. Like
yeah,
with the gruesomeness and everything, to where it's not, overly done. It's, you know, it's like, hey, your kids might have some questions after this, but also, oh boy, I need to see a therapist after that. So,
well, it's and that's definitely because I love cursing. I've been on
yeah,
the show for an hour already. Okay, I love dropping some F bombs, um,
who
but
doesn't?
it's very fucking fun.
Yeah.
But when I was writing it, I was like, okay, like I know a lot of people who listen to Lit RPG are parents,
Yeah,
and I know a lot of people listen to audiobooks. So I was like, okay, I want something that I hope is engaging, horrifying, and makes you feel all the feelings, but I also wanted something that you wouldn't be like, shit, I gotta wait until I go to bed uh to listen to this in the kitchen. So I
right.
wanted I wanted that's what the attempt was. Now I might have come book three, fucked that up, but it's that's what I was going for.
Just give us a
Um
content warning beforehand, and it's
I probably
fine.
will. There's like a little bit of cannibalism in book three. Just light, just like a sweet Sunday cannibalism steak. It's
What the fuck?
oh yeah,
I'm
no,
ready
it's
for it.
bad.
I'm ready
It's
for it.
it's bad, dude. Like I cannot wait. Like I hope you guys can like beta read the third book because
I would love to.
I might have a few connections I could reach out to. Rachel, can I
maybe
beta read your book?
I don't know. I'll ask Geneva. She's my real mom. And yeah, it's Geneva's everyone's mom. In the
I think
best
she just
way.
wants
In
to
the
break
best
me at
way.
this point, but
Honestly, I was like, I cannot wait until you, me, and Geneva and are at a con together. I think you're gonna have a very bad time, Richie.
I'm not. I'm gonna feel bad for Maddie. Actually, no, I'm gonna feel bad for myself because you guys are gonna give her a lot of just tips. You're all three gonna gang up on me, and I don't like that.
Yeah, no, Maddie's lovely. Like,
Yeah,
why would
she's
you
lovely to you. She's mean to me.
Oh, Geneva, hell yeah. I think you have broken him.
Oh no, she's broken me multiple times. That's why I constantly call her the breaker of souls. When I message her, I say the breaker of weak men, and then in the next message, I put in parentheses, "It's me. I'm the weak man."
I'm seeing the Carlac vibe. Again, I always romance Carlac. That's not it's not a criticism. Um
So,
yeah,
but we love Geneva. So Geneva, please,
he's
please,
a big fan.
please, please don't kill me. We love you. You're amazing. You're
I've
you're
been on the
great.
show. I've been on the show. You can kill him now. It's fine, Geneva.
No. We still got a bunch of Legion stuff
I've
on the
gotten
way.
everything I wanted out of
Yeah,
this.
exactly. Exactly, Joel. See, you're picking up what I'm putting down.
I can offer you
I get you.
one free
You don't have to
appetizer
kill
at
me.
TGI Fridays. Please,
I
please.
mean, is that what your life is worth?
I'm in therapy. I don't know. Um,
Dude, why I had one or two I've had one or two reviews that are just like, wow, like the author like can really get in the head of what anxiety is like. And I'm like, oh yeah, I've I've not been on meds for that for years and I'm still in therapy. Like
yeah,
that's
what's
not
that like?
what's that like? I don't know. It's something I wanted to do with the book is so a slight pet peeve of mine is when I see anxious character portrayed and they're usually portrayed as cowards or very
Mhm.
like in the
Mhm.
corner. And at least my personal experience with anxiety is inadvertently you kind of end up with a tough skin because there's nothing someone can say to you that you have not said 10 times worse to yourself. So Like that's
You're
kind of
bringing
what
up all my unhealthy coping mechanisms that I developed.
exactly,
Okay.
right? And I
Where's the
think
orange juice, Joel?
you just like the names you call yourself, and it just becomes accepted that you listen to that voice in your head. So I really wanted to write someone who has, and I talked about this to Jordan Con, a mom mode in anxiety. So
Yeah.
this is something my sister told me about, and I was like, that's it. I 100% get what that is. It's where if you're sitting in a restaurant and you need ketchup, but you're not going to ask for it because
Mhm.
you need it and you don't want to inconvenience someone. But if your fucking friend needs ketchup, you're like, hi, excuse me. No, it's no big deal. You're waving them down. And it's something I wanted to show her having, in which when it comes to saving her own ass, she's pretty useless. But when it comes to
Yeah.
other people, that's the thing that overrides that horrendous the judge and the critic in your head.
Mhm.
And it's not something, I'm sure there's loads of books that have done it, but it's not something I've seen very often. So I wanted to have, like, that's my personal experience with
Yeah.
anxiety. Yeah.
No,
That's something that I realized like early on in the series.
Mhm.
Just
That I
like
had anxiety.
her
I know.
reaction. No, like how she basically, if it's her life on the line, she's kind
Mhm.
of like meek and like doesn't
Mhm.
really know what she's doing. But when it comes to like someone she cares about,
Yeah.
boom, she
Yeah.
is like
the
in there.
the trial scene specifically. That part was
Which
awesome.
scene?
The trial, where
Yeah.
she's like watching from the trees and everything.
Mm,
That part was
Yeah.
fucking awesome. That was fucking awesome. And I was like, oh, there we go. Badass bitch moment. Let's go.
He's in there, and it's something. And I think so, as someone who so one thing I hate is when I get angry, I fucking cry. And it's so annoying because I'm mad at someone and I'm yelling at them. They're like, are you okay? And I'm like, no, I'm fucking mad at you, but I'm sobbing, right? So I think anger can be a really complicated emotion, right?
It is.
And what I really wanted for her is for someone who's like, oh shit, anger is helpful. Like it's anger can be a good thing. And then she
Mhm.
also meets a villain whose entire soul is anger, but that's too much. So I want the two of them. This is them figuring out, like, how do we get
The villain can get fucked. That's all I can say. The villain can
Oh, I
absolutely
know.
get fucked.
Oh, I
Well, he
know.
might be.
He about to say it, you're gonna feel glad about what happens to him later on in the books. You're
Oh,
gonna
I'm
hate him in
ready.
book 2. You're gonna extra hate him in book 2 because you
Good.
think he's bad now.
Good. Oh,
Oh, if you
fill
think
me
he's
with
bad
that
now,
rage.
if you think he's
Fill
bad
me.
now, I have not accomplished this, but this is my ultimate goal. Do you remember Joffrey from Game of Thrones? How everyone fucking hated him. The little
Yeah.
blonde yellow.
Oh no,
yellow
everyone
king.
knows who Prince Joffrey
Yes,
is.
Right.
yes.
So I want that reaction with the villain. Like that's I want everyone to hate him, but
Okay.
also get where he's coming from.
Okay,
So
but
yeah,
here's the thing: no one got where Joffrey was coming from because he was just a little twat. So
I love he was an Irish actor from Cork, and that was like his first major role. And he
and
literally
he's
did Game
since
of Thrones
quit
and
acting,
quit.
I believe.
Yeah, he quit acting. I was like, yeah, I did this. It was fun. I'm just a regular guy now. We're all going, holy shit.
You know, he played Joffrey well because I got to read the books. I think I started them like in 7th grade, which was not the right choice to do. But one of the guys I did martial arts with, he was like, "Hey, no, like here, you can borrow these.
Yeah.
They're good." And I was like, "Okay, cool." I mean,
Being that
not as
young and reading Game of Thrones, Jesus Christ.
it was fucking good. And I was like,
Oh,
"Wow,
it was great.
this guy's a little fucking twat. I hate
Mhm.
him." That's probably why my mouth is so bad, but that's fine. It's okay. We're good. We're good. It's fine. So, we'll touch base on just a few little favorite moments before we start wrapping up the show, because we covered the mechanics, we covered the character development, which I did want to touch on something real quick.
Oh yeah,
I
sure.
like how when she is transported into Zara, she doesn't just become confident and everything.
No.
She's wondering, one, what the fuck is going on? Oh, I don't have access to all these fantastic powers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not Zara the Fury. Zara the Fury's a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, like that's cool. And then inserts actual villain of fuck this guy.
Mm-hmm.
No, you did a great job with that. You
Thank
you
you.
absolutely killed it with making sure that our nameless protagonist still is them, but we can see how they're evolving. Because I
They
mean,
change, yeah, they change
because
quite
who
a
we
bit.
get in the first, part of the book, not able to look people in the eye. There's a list of people they can actually look at. Wasn't going to school, all that stuff. To where we end book 1 was Zara.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Good. It's good. And I can't wait to see how they improve in book 2. And then from book 2 to book 3. And then I can go back and read the entire series because I don't know how
And
many books you're doing in the series.
trilogy, dude. We're going to
Trilogy?
release
Okay.
all 3 this year. The whole thing is coming out this year. And I'm so excited for it.
All right.
Actually,
So,
yeah.
how I said Legion Publishing is sponsoring this episode. They are sponsoring this episode, but they also want to sponsor by breaking my wallet because they have so many banger releases coming out later this year.
Absolutely.
Fuck.
There's so I'm super excited for Jax. I'm super excited for Quest Academy 3. I'm super excited for Lars Murmur. I can never say his fucking surname.
McMillan?
Heft of is that it?
I don't know. I've always butchered
McMull.
Murmur has a Magic the Gathering inspired deck
The
builder
Theft of
coming out.
Decks, and that's what I'm excited about.
I'm
God's
like,
getting
keep
random.
going. And it's one of those, like, by the way, I'm not just promoting this because I'm part of Legion. These are really fucking good books.
No, Legion
very
has
excited to
a
read them.
absolute banger of
Oh
an
yeah.
ensemble of authors. And Legion is probably one of the best companies out there.
There's
in my opinion.
I wasn't gonna mention it, but just since we're on the Legion train, so the reason and we talked about this before the show, but the reason I couldn't make the show last week is my grandmother died, and every director at Legion individually messaged me to check if I was okay.
You have an amazing staff. You have amazing writers.
Awesome.
Legion is a family.
It was really nice. No, it was really nice, and I really felt like checked in and was I okay and everything, and I really, really appreciated it. And it's one of those things like I think especially as lit RPG, and it's happening, it's going to move into more mainstream things. I think in the next year or two, we are going to see in mainstream trad publishing, we are going to see lit RPG books, and I think that will be good for the genre overall. But it does mean that it makes me value more smaller companies that look after people like this, and it was a moment I really, really appreciated, and it's why I'm with them. Because they're
It's
good.
been so awesome to just see the evolution of this genre.
It is.
Like, I haven't even been writing it for very long, and I'm already seeing changes happening even since the time I've been in here. But I because I'm on Reddit too much. I was talking about it there, and I think the thing that really makes I've been in a bunch of different genres, not writing, but just as a fan, right?
Yeah.
Fantasy, paranormal romance. I was really into paranormal romance in the 2010s. We don't
talk
about that.
We're gonna have a conversation about that after the show.
I was up to here in there, right?
We're gonna be talking.
I'm excited. So there's a spin-off special of this, which is called like Richie and Rachel review paranormal. Anyway, no, there isn't. But it
fine. I see how it is.
Dude, are you sorry? Yeah, sorry. Are you a paranormal romance queen? If you are welcome to come join.
I mean, I do like paranormal. I don't know about the romance, but
you're welcome. You could come along. Okay, we'll
this is the R&R.
Supernatural.
This is R&R time.
Twilight, but
I think what ended up, and I actually kind of stepped away from Goodreads and stuff because of this, is fans end up fucking fighting each other, and it got really toxic at times. And I love the Lit RPG Reddit because it really fucking just feels like a book club. Like, people are like, hey, I read this thing, it has X, Y, and Z. And then someone is like, oh my God, I love X, Y, and Z. And that's it. Like, I've seen people not like books, but it's always respectful. I got the best, and I loved this. I got the best criticism of my book on Reddit, and it was so respectful. I'm not mad, but they said they didn't like it because it was too well written.
Damn.
That's awesome.
Which again, and they were very respectful. They were like, no, I wanted to enjoy it. I can't. It's too well written. Da, da, da. And they weren't dicks about it or anything. But I laughed my ass off when I saw it.
No, we're all for that. Because I mean, we've gotten criticism about the show, and I think as the show, we've been doing this since 2021, and like we just celebrated our 3-year anniversary, like back in March, I think. I don't know.
I'm like
I
that.
don't
You're the
remember when.
dates guy.
Hey, I remember we did it in March. I remember James T. Callum was our first guest. Other than that, I would have to go back and look. I got messages. I could go back and just look at the timestamps and everything.
No, but I think it's really cool. But like, this is what I like about Lit RPG. Like, you guys started this because we fucking love Lit RPG.
Yeah.
And I think that comes across in the genre and the community and the people. And I think that's one of the things that makes it so compelling. Like, because there was a time when I was trying to get into trad publishing, and I hear so many stories of like, there's so much jealousy, there's so much like, but why is her book doing better than mine? Da, 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 da. And it's just, it's so nice. Like, whenever I post about something, it's always a bunch of authors that are the first up being like, oh, I can't wait to read it, or like, huge congrats and stuff. And it was so, like, at Jordan Con, there was a bunch of people who like, I've been in the industry for years that are just like saying, oh, congrats on the book, like, well done. And I'm just like, this is so nice.
It is.
Fucking lovely.
I love the Lit RPG community as a whole.
Yeah.
And the amount of support we've seen from, not just Legion, but like Sound Booth Theater, we've seen it from Mountaindale, we've seen it from Athon. Like, it warms my soul. It warms my soul. I popped into Justin Thomas James's stream the other day because he was doing a stream for Dead Tired 2, the promotion of that.
Oh.
And as soon as my name popped up, he was like, oh, it's Richie from Stats on Stats. I was like, oh God, no, please stop. I had to tell Ryan DeBruin, I was like, hey, quit telling people to come to the show, because every time he sees my name, he's like, no, go check them out.
They should check you out.
I know, but
like,
it was like, it was clockwork. And I was like, dude, people are going to think we're paying you to promote us. Stop it. And of course, he's just a big old Canadian.
I mean, we are buying their books, but
true.
No.
So, yeah, exactly.
We just love them so much.
We do. We love our authors, and that's why we do the show. I mean, it's we love to uplift you guys. We love to promote your work because it's good stuff. It helps us get through our days. It's been an escape for me more times than I can count.
Yep.
So that's why we do the genre.
I was the amount of times, like, especially as a teen when times were tough, that I would just sit down with a book and just vanish with it, and I'm so grateful for it.
Right.
And it's something that, as especially like, if you'd asked me 5 years ago, because I've always wanted to publish a book, but if you'd asked me 5 years ago, like, sorry, the cat is fighting things, it's fine. If you asked me 5 years ago, what do you think you'll get published in, I probably would have said sci-fi or something. Did not see Lit RPG coming, but I'm so glad it did.
It's fantastic.
It's fantastic, and I love the vibe, and I love being part of like a grassroots genre where it's people passing on the word and talking about books they really love, because that makes such a huge difference.
It does. And like with the community as a whole, like every community is going to have its trolls or its bad eggs, or someone's just going to want to tear down another. But overall, like the amount of defense that comes into play when like you see that one, it's like, no, this is fantastic. This series is great.
Yeah.
The fuck you talking about? And every author interaction I've had, minus I think maybe 2, has been nothing but positive. Such amazing people. I've formed such amazing friendships with people. I mean, I talk to you on a daily basis almost at this point. I just message you. I'm like, Rachel, how's it going today?
Yeah, which is nice. And it's not, and it's one of the, and look, of course, like, because people are people, you're going to get dickhead, right? I'm not going to turn around and be like, Lit RPG is a perfect magical little fucking kingdom. There are of course going to be dickheads, but 99.9% of people are lovely. Yeah. And if someone isn't lovely, it's not because of Lit RPG. It's just because they're a dickhead.
My name's Dick. I got to live up to the name sometimes.
Hey, I forgot. Yeah, because you're Richie. Yeah. I forgot one other book. Sorry, I forgot one other book that I was excited about coming out this year. It's Grand System Bending. which
Fucking
is,
Ryan Maxwell.
I know,
So
That
but it's
excited.
dick.
I just love the idea of
It's
you
good.
shopping at a vending machine.
I've been talking to,
Like,
or I've been reading
I
on Royal
I have
Road.
been
It's really
loving
good.
his Facebook posts.
he's so
been
good at
making-
he's so good at the social shit. I need to like copy him because
We
he's very
fucking love Ryan.
he's
Oh.
that's one I forgot to plug earlier.
He made one the other day that was like, so Rachel drug texted and like promoted her book, so I'm gonna do that too.
And someone actually asked me, like, are you actually, when you say in a Friday post that you're drunk, they were like, are you actually drunk or is it a bit? I'm like, no, I'm actually drunk.
No, she's
Like,
there was one night I was getting ready to go to bed because I start work so super early. It was like 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock for me. And Rachel had just made her post. We were trying to schedule everything for the show. And she's like, I'm just at a bar right now having a Guinness. I was like, what the fuck?
I really am out drinking.
Girl knows how to
Like,
have
Rachel,
fun.
go have fun, girl. Don't worry about the show right now.
And I think it was me going, you're asking me questions. And listen, I used my last brain cell on that promo post. I need to, like, listen, there was full stops in that shit and everything. So you need Tiny to answer this tomorrow.
I think it was actually the
She was
weekend
like-
before Jordan Con.
Yeah, probably. It is. Yeah.
Because I had just got I think it was like my copy was pre-ordered. I was just waiting for it to ship. And it shipped and it's like, oh, it'll be there on Tuesday. And I'd sent you the screenshot. I was like, it's on its way.
And I was like, I'm drunk at a pub. Yay! I am.
I was giving her live updates on the shipping status.
I was seeing it. It was coming along. It was great.
So,
Okay.
but
it's been
almost an hour and a half. So
Yeah,
let's
sorry,
start wrapping it
apologies.
up. No,
Yeah.
it's fine. Our longest show has been almost 2 hours. Like, I think it's like 2 minutes short of 2 hours. So it's fine. We're good. People,
it's time
people
for
listen.
that time.
So, guys, it's time for our favorite segment of Hey, what you been reading? Hey, Joel.
Yeah.
Dude, it's been a few weeks.
It's gonna be a long ass list, and I'm probably gonna miss some stuff.
Just hit the highlights.
Apologize.
Just hit the highlights.
But I met so many people at Jordan Con that I had to read all their books. Calamity, obviously, fucking fantastic.
That's on my list. We'll just do our list together.
Yeah, we'll. Dead Tire 2 came out. Fantastic. I did do a listen to System Universe. I didn't meet them at Jordan Con, but I really enjoyed that series.
Not on my list yet.
Wolf and Flame. We saw Ava and Rebecca in the chat earlier. That's their book. It was really good. Darling of Fate. Oh my gosh, that was like right in my comfort zone.
And Sean Dunning is on our show next week.
We saw. Yeah, he's on the show next week, so we're gonna get him on and talk about it. Absolutely fantastic.
Also a piece of shit human being. Sean is just the worst. Just
really?
No,
really with his Canadian battle goose.
It's next to my list. I bought Darling of Fate. I can't wait to read it.
It's
I'm really excited.
You need to.
You need to.
He was
peer
annoying.
pressure.
He was one of the annoyingly lovely people.
All right. Okay.
Now he was just annoying, but
Joel said it.
We loved him, and I love his book. So, where was I?
Darling of Fate is what you just said.
Oh, right. I just started Path of Ascension.
Okay.
Again, I picked up like midway through. I'm on like book 4. So that's where I'm at now. So Richie, where are you? Richie,
Spell Thief. You forgot that one.
Oh, right. I read Spell Thief. That was a good one.
So Calamity, obviously, because I've actually done 2 listens to it because I wanted to refresh for the show. Wolf and Flame, which was absolutely fantastic. That was like right up my comfort zone.
I figured it would be.
It was good. It was really good. And of course, I got my physical copy. Well, it's actually Joel's physical copy because my physical copy is with Joel because he grabbed the wrong fucking one.
Yeah, I think it's over here somewhere.
You bastard. I went through, like I said, I did a re-listen to book 2, and I'm on book 5 of Aether's Revival by Daniel Shinhofen. I have been reading Heavenly Chaos, which is his newest one.
I
And-
have it. I'm also excited for that one.
That is so good.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It is so good. It's a little different from his what I'm used to with his writing style. Oh boy. I was like, I want to wait for the audio for this one, but I couldn't stop reading it. And I finished it and I was like, I need the next book now. I need it. It's so good. I'm
How long
reading
is that one? Sorry.
I think it's like about 350 pages.
Heavenly Chaos?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you. It is 446 pages.
Okay, I was off by about 100, so it's really good. It's really, really good. And I'm doing a arc read of Eldritch Knight 2 by Timothy McGowan right now. So
nice.
There's a reason behind that one, but that's for a story for another time. So, but
I think I can guess the reason.
Rachel, what have you been reading?
I have just finished Gravesong, and this is my first Pirate ABBA. Is that how you say it?
Mm-hmm.
This is my first Pirate ABBA book, and I had such a blast because it was so nice reading something that had such a different pace. And of course, Andrea is absolutely fabulous. I've just started The Villain Chef by Kaylin Wilkinson, and that's my next listen. And Heavenly Chaos is probably my next physical book.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I have Sean Dunning's Darling of Fate lined up.
The audio for that one is
it's
good.
Excited.
It's really good.
Yeah. No, I'm having such a blast, and it's something I never really listened to audiobooks before Lit RPG, and I'm like, I'm such a dumbass. Why did I not do this? They're so good. I'm having a blast.
I put it off for the longest time. Joel was like, "Oh, dude, you got to read the land. You got to read the land." And I was like,
I literally had to come up and visit him and play a bit for him, and then he just still didn't read it or like listen to it till like a month or two later.
Oh no, it was 6 months, almost to a year, because I didn't start reading it until you got me the copy for my birthday, which you came out in August or October, and it was August the following year because I was going through all the stuff with DX and dealing with not
I believe
being
you.
me.
Dates guy.
Yeah.
In more ways than one.
I can't get any. That's why I remember him so well. No, I'm in a very loving and healthy relationship now, and I'm very, very happy. So, I mean,
you can still go on dates.
Oh, Maddie and I do go on dates. So
there you go.
We just had date night the other night, and it was fantastic.
You are the dates guy.
Exactly. I guess I am. I don't know. I'm trying not to put myself down. It's hard. But yeah, I put it off for the longest time, and now it's like my favorite genre. It's all I can read, except Maddie said she's like, okay, I will dive into Lit RPG, but you have you have to read a book I want you to read. And I was like, okay. And
That's a cute trade.
She goes, it's A Touch of Darkness. It's the Hades and Persephone book. And I was like, ha, joke's on you. I've already wanted to read that, and it's free on Audible right now with the membership. So I'm going to do that. Mm-hmm. All 4 books. And then the Hades point of view is also free on Audible. It's included with the membership.
Oh, thanks a lot, TBR.
Oh my God. I didn't know that. I've just added it to my library. Thank you.
Heads up. Demeter is a bitch. She's awful. And Maddie goes, oh, she only gets worse. I was like, oh, yay! Can't wait. So now when I play Hades 2, that's what I'm probably going to be listening to.
Oh, I loved Hades 1. I loved it so fucking much.
Hades 2 is good. I just got the Glintstone axe, and I'm boy.
So my treat to myself. So I'm getting in the draft for book 3 in like 2.5 weeks. And my treat after that is 2 things: Elden Ring and Hades 2.
What are you getting Elden Ring on?
Yeah.
PlayStation 5.
Rachel, we gotta play. We gotta play.
Absolutely. Yes.
We got the clan.
Now, yes.
I suck.
That's fine. We'll carry you.
I don't care.
We'll carry you.
We'll carry you.
Let's do it.
We got our night. Joel.
Fuck yeah.
We're gonna have the Knights of Eternity in Elden Ring.
Fuck yeah.
We're gonna be going hard.
Oh my God, if I could make Zara in it, fuck yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
You're good. You're set.
They have plenty of pyromancies.
So
excited.
we'll cut it off here, and we'll
Mhm.
continue the Elden Ring discussion afterwards.
Mhm.
But I want to thank everyone who tuned in tonight or this
Thank you.
afternoon, because it's a lot earlier
Yes.
than we normally do. It's night for you, but
Yeah, I was about to say, sorry, Rachel lives on the other side of the world where the sun is stupid. I just summed up time zones. You're welcome.
time's a construct. It's fine. But I want to thank everyone who tuned in, and of course Legion for sponsoring this episode. So please go to legionpublishing.com and look at some of their books, or just look up Legion Publishing on Amazon. Go to their Facebook page. You can see all the stuff they've gotten by just giving them a follow on Facebook.
They good
Yeah.
eggs.
It got some great authors. Got some
Plenty of
really
good series.
fucking good authors, and
Yeah.
people who are wanting to break my goddamn wallet. So do it.
Paul, thank you. Also, Paul, I saw your review on Amazon and it was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate you leaving.
We
it.
love Paul.
Paul's a good egg.
He helped me get a
Paul's
new couch into my house last night. We had to take the door off the hinges and everything. It was
Damn,
fantastic.
Paul strikes me as the kind of guy that would do that. He'd be like, I got you.
No, I said, hey, what time you get off work? And he goes, hey, I can help you get a couch. It's fine. And it takes up my entire living room now. So
You got a new couch?
it's a long story, Joel. It's a long story.
We'll talk about it later.
So, but thank you guys for tuning in. And Rachel, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You were fantastic. Oh, when is the next final call?
Oh, my brain just shorted. Hang on. I'm not good at dates.
The 25th?
I had to pull up my little calendar because it's the, I think it's the 25th. I am 90% certain it's the 25th.
Okay. It's the last Saturday of every month, if I'm not mistaken.
I think we might have had to make it a little bit earlier. I think it's the 25th, but it's very exciting. It's a bunch of lit RPG authors. We run around. We pretend
next
to be.
week?
It might be next week. It is either
Geneva.
What is the next?
Mom, help!
Mom, help! You're asking me questions and I don't know the answer. Shit.
You're the dates guy and he doesn't know the answer.
Hey, I haven't seen a post for it, so 19th. It's 19th. Okay. Thank you, Geneva. We love you.
Geneva. It is the 19th, which I knew, obviously. I play a barbarian who is called Leonora Jenkins, and she can totally count and doesn't have to use her fingers and accidentally gave away all her gold. And it's tremendous fun. We get guest shows on, and
the main cast is you, Brian, Katie Hanna.
Yeah. Jack is the oh my
DM.
god. Sorry. If you want to get a little bit of a sneak peek of what like Jack Field's book is going to be like, just listen to DM.
I'm still convinced the Steam that was behind him last session was a paid actor.
Just paid. Just someone going in the background. And it's just it's great. Look, it's just a bit of crack and we're all being idiots together.
It's fantastic. I listen to it while I'm at work and it's a good time. So
just us being idiots. And my second book is coming out in August, and you can buy the first one
August 27th.
August 27th.
Because I already have it pre-ordered. I'm ready for the paperback and everything to go live.
I'm excited. Okay.
So, but
thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun.
Rachel, thank you so much. We absolutely love and adore you. You are fantastic. And
thank you.
But for everything that has been Lit RPG, I was joined today by Rachel Niekirk, Joel Harvey, and of course, I am Richie Stevens. Thank you guys for tuning in so much, and we will see you next time.
Bye.